St. Louis. I'm doing my PM workout running. Like Corey, what do they call that thing?
Bird, baby.
I'm following him. Check out this view. Oh yeah, the St. Louis Arch. Totally not fair, bro. See ya. The bridge. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Missouri. I'm here at American Welding Academy in Union, Missouri. And the plan here is to go inside, show you what American Welding Academy is all about. And I have a special guest in here. His name's Sean, AKA DabsWellington, and we are going to review the Transsteel 2200, and we're going to show you techniques or tips on how to MIG like TIG. So let's get in here. Hold on, I gotta knock. I caught him off guard. Uh-oh. So we ready to do a tour of American Welding Academy? That is the question as you have a mouthful of water.
Absolutely. I wanted to make sure I was hydrated since I'm going to be flapping my jaws here quite a bit.
Yeah.
This is where I report every morning, but shortly thereafter, we go on out.
What is American Welding Academy anyways?
American Welding Academy is a post-secondary weld training facility located in Union, Missouri. And run 3 different courses. All in unison. We've got a structural course that runs for 10 weeks. We've got a fabrication course that runs for 12. And then our most popular and most comprehensive is our pipe welding class. It runs for 20 weeks. Every class is going to start out in the classroom each and every morning. This is where we will take roll. This is where they will learn about isometric drawings, blueprint reading. They'll take their OSHA tests and different things like that. But really, we want to get them in here, get them signed in on time, because we do take attendance and roll and make sure that you're used to getting to work and school on time. But you know, you're going to spend maybe half hour to an hour in the classroom. The bulk of the curriculum is going to be taught in the booth. We expect you under the hood, burning rod, burning wire, 7 hours a day.
So what kind of student would apply or decide to come to American Welding Academy? Because this is, you know, I heard it from you earlier, but this is post-secondary
Post-secondary. Yeah, we will take students at any experience level, but most of our students are coming from career training centers. So they're getting dual credit from a high school that would possibly transfer to a college. But a lot of them decide to go with a more aggressive training schedule like ours, where we can pack all of that 2 years of knowledge into a 5-month course.
As I walk through American Welding Academy, you know, I see different things on the wall. Like this one sticks out. Preparation plus opportunity equals success.
That's right.
Hands down, it's the perfect saying right there on the wall. And I noticed there's a bunch of them all over American
I
Welding
like the
Academy.
one that's the harder I work, the luckier I get.
Ooh.
That's right.
I see your picture right there on the wall.
Oh yeah, that goofy nut. Look at the head on that thing.
The best part, the lab.
That's right, the giant lab. Now all these different trees are going to kind of go over exactly where you're going to be at different stages throughout the curriculum. Every student is going to start out running pad beads. That gives the instructor the ability to see exactly how they work the puddle in all the different positions and exactly where they need to line up and where they're going to sit in the curriculum. You know, whether they had zero experience or a career center, we want to make sure that you have a full gauge of exactly where each and every student is at, to where we can move forward from there. Once you grasp the pad bead portion of it, you'll actually start joining materials together. And once we work through all those in different positions, then you're ready to start testing. All of our qualifications were going to be done through destructive bend tests. So that's where you're going to cut the strips out of these, bend them in the root and or face direction, and that's how you start gaining the qualifications. This is where the structural course would stop right here. Pipe welding students are obviously going to take everything they learned in the flat and start incorporating that into the 360-degree round nature here of the O-beam. And fabrication students are going to spend the additional 2 weeks above and beyond the structural course, focusing on thinner gauge materials and more things they would encounter in local fabrication jobs.
Weld booths, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, and I think that's H down there. You can see how many booths they have for students with some cool stick cans. And, oh, there he is.
That would be 64 weld booths in total. Each one of the pipe welding booths is going to come equipped with a Miller 280 CST welder. We provide everything for new students that they're going to need for the entirety of their program, but you can always upgrade any of your tools and usually get them for manufacturer retail through the school.
So let me get this straight. You provide the grinders, all the tools, the buckets, weld jackets.
Absolutely. Everything you're going to need to come into the program and start welding is provided to you on day one.
It's asking what the center portion is here. And Sean, you said it's the key?
I just call it the key.
The key. So this
the
is the key.
Every time a student has a problem, the instructor is right there to see him poke his head out of the booth.
Aha, hence the reason why I've seen instructors out here.
That's right.
Makes
Because
sense.
having instructors in position to correct the problems you're having is key.
I would call this the burn area. Do you have a name for this?
Oh yeah, that's our cutting and prepping area.
Yeah. So as Sean mentioned, they're doing a lot of pipe fab. So you have to cut it with something.
And we can cut it with all kinds of things. We've got track torches, we've got rotating torches, we've got plasma torches, we've got oxy-fuel torches. Hell, you can cut it with a hacksaw if you got enough brawn. We've got grinding room. That's where I got my start, so I figure every welder deserves his shot to start in the same place.
Oh, you have to pick up a grinder. This is pure grinding room here. Look at this right here. Grinding room. Big difference. Big, yeah, nothing. I like the idea of having the grind room. They have a fast cut CNC where it accommodates a 4x8 sheet. He's probably gonna get it up and going right now, or at least show you the motion maybe.
I can show you the motion.
The motion works. And then I'm really interested in what that thing is back there.
That's the pipe lab.
The pipe lab.
That's right. That's Ava's favorite jungle gym, and that's where the students get to flex their prowess towards the end of their curriculum. The instructor can give them a drawing, what to cut out, T's, Y's, different unions to put in there. So basically it's exactly the situation they'll find themselves in once they get out into the field.
We're back in Sean's Dablatory number 2.
The Deuce.
The Deuce. He's got some cool equipment back here. Check out this cutting table. And obviously some Fronius machines.
My favorite color.
Yeah. What do we got here?
The Transsteel 2200. And we've got the Transstick 210, my little travel companion from this year.
So the plan today is to show everybody or give you a little bit on techniques for MIGging like TIG. So hopefully we can provide some value for you. I think we can.
I'm gonna give it a try.
All right, so let's go through this operation real quick. If you got any questions, put it down in the description below. What kind of gas are we running, Sean?
7525.
7525.
Standard.
Okay. And again, you know, we got the Transsteel 2200 running off 230 volt. I did bring some material with me, which is, it looks pretty nasty and rusty, but it's all right. I'm sure we got a grinder sitting somewhere.
We'll get her all fixed up.
Inside the machine, we have a small spool or a 2-pound spool of Blue Demon 030, I believe is what that is.
It is 030. Everything I've run on this machine so far is 030, but you can get any flavor, and it'll run just about anything you can throw at it.
Now, question for you. When you're doing MIG like TIG, do you prefer a smaller wire size?
I prefer a smaller wire size, whether I'm MIGging or TIGging.
We're set up for what, 70S6, again, 030 wire, and then 75-25 gas mix. You know, Sean is gonna get his settings where he wants. I think we're gonna do, what, 1/4 inch first?
1/4 inch will be first. We'll see if we can't dial it in for something thicker. Then we'll move it down to something thinner and test our prowess.
And he already has a range. So up here we could set our wire feed speed. And you said somewhere around where, you thinking?
Let's go somewhere around, yeah, 180 ought to work at first.
180. So we set it to wire feed speed. Here's our volts, and then inside the machine I separated volts and wire feed speed. So now we can independently adjust your volts if you need to.
Okay.
So maybe, I don't know, 16.8.
We'll try it there and adjust on the fly. Just like me, a little rough around the edges, but there's beautiful stuff on the inside.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure you knock the mill scale off. So is this going to be a outside corner, or are we
this is going to be corner on corner, so I'm just using this to keep a nice gap, and then we'll fill that entire gap with welded material, and hopefully it looks like a Miggit like Tiggit.
Sean could tell right away, just from tacking, that it was going to be a little cold.
Just by the sound.
Just by the sound.
Make sure it's crispy. It should sound like bacon. Not a lot of sparks coming off here.
Okay, so we're about 200 inches a minute at 19 volts. You know, this is our first plate. And I'm going to try to turn my lens down here. Yeah, you can see it. What kind of motion are you doing?
Little backward circle. Coming in that leading edge. Coming down into the groove. Wrapping that back around. That way you can see that reinforced line. That's each time when I'm coming back. And that's the motion that's giving me that nice little ripple, and it's going to give you those silica deposits that really contrast your weld bead and make it look like TIG.
Do you ever have a beat in your head when you're doing the weed like that?
Head?
Yeah.
It's like Benny Hill music constantly, you know.
I'm always like, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's a long seam, man. That's like 12 inches or 10 inches.
That's what at least that's what I was telling.
Yeah. Do you prefer to drag?
When I'm doing the Miggit like Tiggit, typically I wouldn't drag the MIG, but in this process, it's going to help leave those silica deposits towards the backside. And like I said, a lot of these steadfast rules are honestly situational.
Yeah, I personally like the drag as well because I can see what the puddle's doing and where my torch is going and my wire manipulation's at, versus push where I feel like I'm going over the top a little bit. Stopping it. Oh, it automatically switched. There we go. It's a long weld seam to get it all the way. Heck yeah, man.
And to be perfectly honest, this is the last time I've touched MIG since the last time I did a Miggit like Tiggit video. So, a couple more passes, a little more practice. That's the worst thing about welding. Your skills are not static. Unless you work it, you lose it.
Totally agree with them on that. Practice makes perfect.
If you don't use it, you will lose it.
It's so true. It's like golf. You know, you got to practice that swing, that putt to get your lowest score possible. And if you think you can take a welding machine, not knowing anything, and watch a video, it makes it a little difficult.
Yeah.
You can take some ideas, but that's why there's coupons and scrap and training, and you got to have persistence and test.
The best way to learn is to grab some metal, get under the hood, and just start slowly figuring it out.
Limitations, you just want to keep in mind material thickness. If you're running too thick, you want to make sure you cross-section or brake test it before you're putting out something that's
this isn't going to be for structural welding. This is for decoration, you know, like most of my welding. So, you know, this is not for the big boy stuff. This is for fun and that Instagram flex.
Exactly. Cosmetics.
Absolutely.
So if you're putting out something cosmetically appealing, this is where you'd probably use this technique. So we're on to the Trans TIG 210.
And we're going to do some stick pulse.
Oh, All right, let's do it. We have the TransTig 210. You know, Sean brings this around to a lot of the schools.
That's right.
That he does demo days or technology days, or what do you call them?
Well, they would just, they would be demo days, I guess. I come out, I speak with career centers, high school students, FFA programs. This summer I'll be doing a lot of different fairs throughout states in the Midwest. But I like to come in, obviously I talk about what American Welding Academy has to offer, but what I enjoy the most about it is I get to sit down, share some good time with the students, and give them a look into welding that was never presented to me when I was in high school. I'm showing them things outside of the typical stick welding and MIG welding. I'm showing them artistic things and things in the TIG welding world they may not usually have exposure to in high school, because a lot of people, myself included, didn't realize that I was obsessed with welding in high school. It took starting as a temporary at a local fab shop for me to get exposed to the aspects of welding that I personally fell in love with.
So he carries the TransTig 210 around with him, but also, oh man, Drew Carey! Drew Carey!
What's up, buddy? How are you? Good, how are you?
TransTig, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set it for stick pulse. And how we do that is cursor down here to hold stick mode, and maybe I'll let Sean go in here if you can with your gloves.
Uh-huh.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna hold down that arrow key.
All right.
And hit the gas purge, and then take that knob until we see FP somewhere in there. There it is. So that's your stick pulse. And
how wild do we want to get here?
I say we start off slow. We gotta take it slow.
Nice and easy.
And then
warm
work our way in.
All right. 1.5 suffice?
Let's try 1.5.
All right, 1.5 will work.
What thickness are we gonna do?
What is that, 1/8 inch?
8.
Other than the 5 previous stick rods that I've ever run, we're forging into some new territory here.
And it looks like he has good old 1/8 inch and 332. I'm saying maybe we start with 332 because we're on 110.
Oh yeah, okay.
So maybe we go 332. So I'm gonna hit this button here. Whoop. Right here. Turn our amps down to, let's go 78. 78 sounds good. This is where 7018 is always fun. Oh, it's still struck pretty good.
I call it luck.
Was that rod warm?
It's very warm.
Yeah, that's why it struck so good. On high and low for a set amount of time, which is 1.5 pulses, I think we got it set at. So the advantage to stick pulse would be low heat input on thinner gauge materials, but also welding out of position.
This is weird.
Way weird, isn't it?
Come in, you can
Pump
start.
this guy up to
Put your hand there, but once you get it going,
6.5.
come on.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh, you're good. These give you pretty good control going uphill. Steady.
Sounds like I had too many energy drinks, you know what I'm saying?
Nice. Done that a few times.
A couple times.
So many Fronius machines. What the heck?
What do you want for amperage?
Let's go ahead and do about 78 amps.
On it.
Okay, so what machine's that, Corey?
The AccuPocket.
AccuPocket. Battery operated, 40 lithium ions. So Adam's running the AccuPocket 150, still 332, 7018.
Yep.
Vertical up,
Vertical up.
1/4 inch fillet weld.
Yep. Yes, Mom. No wire. Full start. I haven't heard him chirp yet.
Yay or nay?
Yay.
Okay, flashlight.
Handful more rods. We'll finish it up.
What's your technique running vertical up 332 then?
Just really watching the toes of my puddle, making sure it's not undercut, and watching that solidifying shelf, bringing that puddle up with me. Just trying to keep things uniform and consistent from start to finish.
Here's one of the things I noticed right away at American Welding Academy. Yeah, I know we got Adam sitting here, but they spend the time to sit down with their students and show them technique. You know, you heard it from him running this out of position 332, 7018. You know, they put the focus on. Just 3 rods. So do you start maybe a 1/2 inch where you end? Is that,
No, what I do is I usually strike up above it, come back down in, I loop that crater and try to come right across that shelf. I'd rather it be a little heavy than low.
I notice you're heavily hands-on with students. Is that common?
Yeah, that's what we pride ourselves on, is spending that time with them. You know, one-on-one, breaking the most simplistic task down even simpler, to where everybody's on the same page. We're identifying discontinuities as they arise under the hood versus waiting to tip the slag off. You know, really teaching the students to read the puddle, carrying metal, what good metal in a joint means. You know, that's important, because this is the next step to so many other applications in this field.
Pausing in the corners to make sure you get your fill.
No undercut.
Is it like a 1 second rule to not get undercut?
Yeah, I usually don't count it, time it. I'm just waiting for that puddle to catch up, wet in, and I'm back out of there. Trying to keep that leg size and throat size of the fillet consistent all the way up.
What, 3 more rods to run? Does this wireless beauty have what it takes to pull out
We got
the
3
weave
bars.
pads?
Look at that. Steady skills. So 6 rods total.
Yep.
I think that's like a perfect match to your sample over here. Where is that? Oh, it's right here. Oh, there it is. All right, let's see. Pretty close. This one might be a little better. Well, that was fun playing around. You know, we got to check out the
Learned a
trains.
lot of things that I'm not necessarily that great at. It just goes to show you, keep practicing, because as I mentioned, skills do diminish. But it's always a good time. Hang out with you, play around with some new machinery, and unlock some of the capabilities of this Fronius goodies.
Heck yeah, trans steel, trans TIG,
I'm
AccuPocket.
telling you, That's the three amigos of welding right there.
Yeah, exactly. So where can they find you anyways?
They can find me at DabsWellington. You can follow anything we've got going on at the school at American Welding Academy. And other than that, you can find me every day here at 3 Progress Parkway in Union, Missouri.
Perfect. Appreciate the time, Sean.
Thanks for coming
Thank
out.
you, sir.